and welcome back to another episode of Change Wired podcast. Podcast for change agents, for leaders, for people like you and me who are not satisfied with status quo, but instead want to grow, want to improve, want to make a difference in the world, want to do something meaningful and fulfilling with their lives. And here we are to explore research-backed, life-proven methodologies, tools, very applicable strategies so you can get better at navigating this path of growth, of improvement, and also managing yourself better as a leader to lead others better and create the difference that you want to create in the world better. And today's episode is very foundational, guys. If you in some form of fashion don't use the system of horizon planning, you're not going to be a great leader in terms of making initiatives that are going to create a difference in the world. You're not going to be great at that because at the end of the day, like I did my reflection session on a Sunday morning, and on this podcast you're listening on Monday or Tuesday or sometime later. But I do every Sunday a reflection session where I look at what I did during my week and what worked, what didn't, why it worked, why it didn't work, and what strengths I can use to improve my outcomes moving forward, and what systems I can put in place and improve to overcome obstacles, if many of them are obstacles of our character and our patterns, right? But the thing is, none of that makes any sense. Like whatever I reflect on, it makes no sense whatsoever unless you put it in a bigger picture of your life and what you're trying to achieve in the world, right? It's like if you are on some sort of diet, like some people are building muscle trying to gain weight and some people are trying to lose weight. And depending on what the goal, you're gonna design your strategy. Or if you're trying to improve your cardiovascular system and be the fastest runner, you're probably not gonna be spending most of your time lifting heavy weights because it doesn't really make sense for what you're trying to achieve. And so this whole goal setting and achieving and striving and trying to grow and improve, it makes no sense literally unless you understand very clearly where you're going with that. Like no relationship, no way of appearing and showing up in the world makes any sense unless, again, in the picture of your life, saying, okay, this is the person I am, these are my values, this is the difference I want to create in the world, and that is why I do X, and that is why I behave in this fashion, and that is why I'm saying yes to no to certain things and certain people and not to others. If you don't have this clarity and you don't use some sort of system which is similar to what you're going to learn today, then you're not going to be doing a great job of building your fulfilling, your meaningful life and creating impact, that the difference that you want to see in the world. Because more and more you will realize moving forward with more and more options, opportunities and complexity and technologies, more and more you're going to realize that your time is a limited resource. Unlike money or anything else, you can't make more of it, you can't get it back, you can't do anything with that. It's like sort of like bank account where you get certain amount every day, 24 hours, and once they're gone, they're gone. And if you waste them forever. There is nothing you can do to change, to improve that. And so your main work is moving forward, looking back, asking yourself, was that fulfilling? Did it lead to where I wanted to go? If not, how can I change it moving forward, right? But again, time is a limited resource, but options and demands on your time are not. So you need to get better at saying yes and no, prioritizing really fast, and making choices that build a fulfilling vision, mission in this world. So practice like horizon planning has to be in place. And believe me, every leader you admire who build great things have some sort of system like that, where they plan top down, meaning answering these questions. Why am I doing this? Where am I going with this? Because without that, nothing makes sense. So today you're going to learn the system that will help you to prevent overwhelm with all the things that piling up on your plate. Usually also the more project you are engaged with, the more you want to create in the world, the more complexity you will have to handle. And that's where horizon planning and similar systems really necessary. It's a must to have this kind of system. And you're going to learn how to do it super easily. And also in the show notes, there is a link to worksheet that I personally use, and it's available for you absolutely free. Just, use the link, use it, put it on your calendar and do the work. So today I'm going to walk you through the exercise, and I'm going to give you prompts when to stop the recording and do the work, and then continue listening and then do the work again. And what I recommend you doing, listen to this podcast in its entirety, and then schedule the work, and then use this podcast to walk yourself through the practice of horizon planning. Or you can also download my worksheet. Link is in the show notes. Share it also freely. The more people start thinking about where I'm going with this and why am I doing this, the better the world going to be. We're going to be all more intentional with building the world and the future. Starting again from the top, from the vision that we want to create, not landing on it randomly and then trying to figure out how to deal with all the problems or complexities that we created and never anticipated. So this practice today will help you to prevent overwhelm, will help you to say yes and no really quickly and meaningfully. So actually your time adds up, like the activities that you fill your time with add up to something fulfilling and meaningful. And so you have no regret, no sort of this, negative feeling when you're not sure, should I say yes, should I say no? And speaking about that, it will allow you to make choices and decisions so much more faster. And decision fatigue is a real thing, guys. The more you spend time making trivial decisions or the same decisions, the less time is available for decisions and creativity and all the stuff that you got to do to move things forward, create new stuff, right? So decision fatigue, you're going to eliminate a lot of that. You're going to have a lot more energy to build the projects, to actually do the work that going to create meaning, fulfillment, and something you're proud of. It will help you this system will help you to prioritize easily, again, without guilt, without having to evaluate all of these options all the time. And at the end of the day, this system will help you to build a fulfilling life. When you're 80, when you're 90, 100, if lucky, you look back at it and you're gonna be happy and like, yeah, I lived this life and it was awesome and I absolutely loved the experience and it added up to something really, really amazing. So this is horizon planning adopted from David Allen's work, Get Things Done methodology, world-known methodology to not just getting more things done, but getting meaningful things done. So check it out. Get Things Done. You will find it easily Googling. Today, the process I adopted from, again, David Allen's work, I changed it up a little bit, used it myself with many of my clients, and that made more sense to me than the original work. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. Again, say no to overwhelm, but clarity, simplicity, and building one meaningful life, one meaningful choice at a time. And I want to start with a quote from Lewis Carroll, somewhere in Alice in Wonderland or in his work. If you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. So horizon planning helps you to understand where you're going and how to align your today's calendar with that destination. So horizon planning, what is horizon planning in a nutshell? I'm going to read you a quote here. Horizon planning within the context of David Allen's Getting Things Done methodology is a framework for thinking about your work and life at different levels of perspective. It helps you to prioritize your actions by focusing on the most important things first, aligning your goals, and even discarding less important commitments. Essentially, it's about seeing the bigger picture while also managing your daily tasks effectively. So horizon planning, let's get into that. It's looking at your bigger picture of your life and work first before planning your day-to-day and then doing the reflection backwards. Does my day-to-day lead me to where I want to go? So step number one that you're going to take doing horizon planning, and this is horizon 5. figuring out your purpose and principles and values, those intangibles that guide your life. This is like your North Star, your vision. And by the way, guys, any of those horizons, they will change. That's why it's important to put this practice on your calendar with regularity. And I'm going to tell you what regularity is suggested. Purpose and principle, horizon 5. Like, where are you going in your life? What's the vision of your life? What kind of person you want to be? What kind of values will guide your life? What are the vision of my life, if I were to summarize it in 1-2 sentence, is help more everyday superheroes unlock more of their potential. So together we can create the most amazing world and live the most fulfilling lives. And specifically, I feel like my mission, what I'm really good at, is creating spaces where human potential grows. It's being sort of a gardener of human potential and making sure that the environment, the spaces we create, are the ones that, just like good soil for a plant, will create the blooming that we desire. So purpose, principles, reflect on what truly matters to you and what gives your life meaning. For now, write down your life purpose, considering long-term vision, aspirations, and the values that guide your decisions. And with that, you'll be aligning all other horizons down the stream. So it's very important to understand, like, what is your guiding star? Where are you going? What kind of person are you inspired to become? And this is where you're going to stop and spend the next 5-10 minutes writing down in the most simplest, whatever form comes out at the moment. The most important part, guys, is to start doing. Don't overthink it. 5 minutes minimum. Set a timer for 5 minutes, maybe your Pomodoro technique, like as your break. Set 5 minutes and do the writing. Purpose and principles again. What is your North Star? Where are you going? What's your vision? What are your guiding values? What is the person you're trying to become? Right? So stop, 5 minutes, right? And then restart, get back. Now we are getting into horizon 4. And this is the vision horizon for the next 3-5 years, because beyond that, really things will change. So horizon 4, it's about your 3 to 5 vision. And steps here are: imagine your ideal future in the next, again, 3-5 years. This is horizon 4, vision, across various life areas: career, business, personal life, health, relationships, and identify long-term goals that align with these areas and with your purpose. 3 to 5 years, that's what we're thinking, guys. 3 to 5 years. Go into the future. Imagine you are 5 years into the future. So what have you achieved that would say, okay, I'm moving along towards my North Star? What is this vision? Here we are not looking for a lot of specificity. We imagining 3 to 5 year vision in most important areas of your life: your work, your health, your life, your relationships. So this is where you again stop and spend at least 5 minutes writing about 3 to 5 vision, again, which needs to be aligned with horizon 5, your purpose and principles. So stop, 5 minutes, write, and then come back. Now we get to horizon 3, which is goals and objectives for the next 1 to 2 years, which this horizon needs to be aligned with your purpose and needs to be aligned with the 3 to 5 year vision. So steps: identify specific, measurable. Here, guys, we're speaking details, measurable goals that support your long-term vision. And measurable means you have some sort of metrics which are quantifiable, sometimes objectively, sometimes subjectively, quantifiable metrics that are going to tell you arrived there. So projects in those important areas that you included in your vision, put those projects in here for the next 1-2 years. And the main difference here between vision and principles and your North Star, they gotta be quantifiable, measurable in whichever way. You gotta be very clear about, okay, this is when I arrive there, and anything before that is not that, right? So break these goals into actionable objectives that you plan to achieve within a year or 2. Ensure these goals are realistic, aligned with both your long-term purpose, your North Star, and your 3 to 5 year vision. And this is again where you're going to stop and you're going to spend at least 5 minutes writing about Horizon 3, your 1-2 year goals and objectives. Okay, now we're getting to Horizon 2. Manage your short-term projects. So you have now your 1 to 2 year projects, more long-term, measurable, quantifiable, broken down into step-by-step to be able to celebrate, adjust your course. And now you are breaking down those into more specific projects which you can accomplish in the next few weeks to few months. I recommend not going longer than 6 months. So you break down your 1 to 2 year goals into those projects which are weeks and months ahead of you. And again, you need to make them measurable, quantifiable. You need to know when you are on track, off track, when you succeed, when you are off track and you need to adjust. So they also have to be quantifiable and measurable. They just gotta be more short term. And when this happen, you need to be able to arrive into your 1 to 2 year goals, and that needs to be arrived with your 3 to 5 year vision, and that needs to be aligned with your North Star and principles, right? So Horizon 2, we are almost ground level, guys. So here too, you're gonna stop for 5 minutes and write. You can take longer, but at least 5 minutes. Use a timer. Identify and list all the projects that need to be completed in the near term, weeks and months. Again, don't go longer than 6 months. Ensure each project has a clear objective and aligns with your higher horizons. Regularly review your project list weekly to track progress and make adjustment as needed. We're gonna be a little bit more specific on the review process just in a couple of minutes. But for now, you have projects which are weeks and months in length. And now we are at Horizon 1, ground level, guys. This is where you're gonna start planning your weekly, daily activities. Break down those projects which takes weeks and month, and then you break them into specific tasks and actions that you're gonna put on your calendar. Your weekly, your daily calendar, prioritize tasks based on their urgency, importance, and alignment with your higher horizons. Use a task management system to do calendar, whatever works for you, AI, Notion, whatever works for you. This is where we are at the ground level, at the level of systems, designing your environment, your social interactions, your, again, calendar, to-do list. This is where we get nitty-gritty. And also that is needed to be aligned with higher horizons. And also, this is what you're going to review every week, like I do every Sunday. So again, stop here, 5-minute timer or more, and then you restart, and we are at the review process, which is an essential part of horizon planning. Without this part, your horizon planning is not complete. So review, do weekly review. I do every Sunday. Focus on ground level and Horizon 1 goals, which are your daily, your weekly activities, and your short-term projects, right? That's what you're going to review every week. Monthly, quarterly, you're going to review Horizon 2 and 3. So those are your short-term projects and your 1 to 2 year projects. And then annually and biannually, that's where you review your Horizon 4 and 5, your 3 to 5 year goals and your vision, your North Star, your principles, your values. Again, review process is very, very important. It's a part of Horizon planning process, and if you don't do the review, it's like, again, making resolutions and never looking back at them. So this is an essential part to make the whole system effective. Now again, here you don't step, but actually you do step. What I propose you to do here is schedule this work. So if you've, again, listened through the entirety of this podcast for the first time. Now, the first step you're going to do when you finish listening is you're going to schedule this process. So you go through this process step by step with a timer. Whatever works for you, just make sure to schedule it. When you do the horizon planning and you do all the horizons, the last step going to be to schedule your weekly review. Your weekly review on Sundays, then schedule your monthly and quarterly review, literally putting it on a calendar. And so for your weekly review, I recommend leaving about 20 minutes. You can do 30 minutes, but 20 minutes. Put it on your calendar every Sunday and stick with it. Now for your monthly review, 30 to 40 minutes should be good. And then for your annually review, 90 to 120 minutes. Also schedule it so it's there, I don't know, on January 1st. For me, when I do my biannual review is my birthday, which is 23rd of July, and January, sometime at the beginning of January, usually first week. I don't actually schedule that, but I always remember, okay, end of year, when am I going to be doing this annual review? And on my birthday, either right on my birthday, turned 3rd of July or 24th of July, I do my biannually review because my birthday is kind of like in the middle of the year, July, good time to do biannually review. I find it very convenient. And this is the whole process. So what you're going to do again, when you stop listening, you're going to first plan the work on those horizons and you listen to this recording and stop when I prompted you. And then after you do the work on all the horizon planning and you plan your daily actions to move towards your horizon 5, your purpose and principles, and then 3 to 5 year vision. So after you do this work, you then plan your review, meaning put on the calendar weekly, at least weekly, whatever day suits you, 20 minutes for weekly review, and then monthly 30 to 40 minutes, and then annually or biannually, at least define like the days or a time frame. And if you do a weekly review, you're probably not going to forget about your biannually or annual review and also your monthly review. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget, please, to share again with other people this system so we all start building our fulfilling, impactful life every day. And also so we become leaders that are more intentional about the world and the change in the world that we want to create. So please do share this episode. Also, there is, as I mentioned, the worksheet in the show notes, which you can get for free. You can copy, you can distribute it. If you let me know how it worked for you, how you didn't like the process, maybe you use something else and you're like, Angela, I think that would be an amazing addition. So please do share that as well. But again, there is a worksheet you can get for the whole process. Just copy it. If it's on my Google Drive, copy it as your document and you're going to get the editable copy. So it's in the show notes. Rate, review this podcast, guys. This is how we reach more people and build a more intentional world and more fulfilling lives, all of us all together. So please do review, share rate this podcast. And well, till next time. Keep growing. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Keep growing and do horizon planning to live the most fulfilling life and create a lot of positive impact. Till next time, keep growing.